everyone.
Good evening and welcome.
Hello.
As David Cross would say, go.
And welcome to this video commentary for The Fear Inside. We're going to do the final cut today, and obviously we're joined by
Jacqueline Reed.
Me.
Yes, one of our
James.
up-and-coming stars.
So we're going to re-watch the final cut version of this by the music from Andrew Fyfe. One fantastic score, and obviously this has got extra bits in compared to the original interactive film. This has got all the endings in, plus the short film epilogue. We've got a separate video commentary for epilogue coming along the way, so we'll give different insights for that. But for this, we're going to watch the final cut, so I hope you enjoy what we've got to say for it. Now, 3 and a 2 and a 1, and let's play.
Go.
Now what I like about this is when we came back to editing this, I used footage from The Businessman to kind of cut it in, kind of interplay where it is in the timeline, because Businessman is like the framework of where all the short films go. They kind of slot throughout that film.
That was at the pub, wasn't it?
This was at oh god, I can't remember what it's called. Lloyd's Bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one in Chichester. Isn't there anymore.
So all this is still The Businessman at the moment. But obviously, but obviously when I wrote The Businessman, I knew I was going to lead into that scene where the missing kids happen. So I thought with the final cut, I might as well show the group of friends together.
The scene leading into it.
Exactly. So it almost, as it works as a kind of pre-credits sequence, just to kind of lead you into the short film. I think it works really well. And this piece of music is actually by Dan Holland. It's one of his original compositions. Dan, fantastic guy, did an absolutely amazing score for The Businessman. So I had to kind of sneak it in there as we were showing footage from The Businessman at this point. Now it's also interesting as well because I'm not actually in The Fear Inside, but because of this scene I am now in it. Same as Mark, same as Rob. This is all kind of like our reintroduction to this world, even though we weren't originally in it when we released this film. And this little scene, I actually looped audio from The Fear Inside. It's not, it's across the road, this bit,
So you're getting
by the bus stop.
And here we go, finally kicking into Andrew's music as the original logo plays. Well, not the original, the second 2009 logo. Second original logo. Now what is a little bit of context about this film is it's the Object and The Fear Inside are based on 2 short stories I wrote while I was at college doing GCSE English. I had to retake my course. But even though this is the second one we made, it's actually the first one I wrote. So I think that played into my head a little bit when I wrote it and connected it to The Object about it being a prequel because I wrote it first. And I cast obviously Harvey and Elliott in it. I was like, well, one of these characters is in The Object. Maybe I could make this like a prequel story to kind of connect it to The Object. And obviously we got the walk home theme, our little comedy theme now. You love this piece, don't you?
Right there.
So obviously there's a bit of levity here with this scene. Obviously you're not expecting what's just about to happen as two brothers are walking home drunk from a night out, and then suddenly
something happens.
Yeah, someone's taking a pee around the corner, and then suddenly he's grabbed by a mysterious entity as the main Object theme plays.
Should have knocked on someone at all.
Jonathan Myers has disappeared
already.
Yeah, so Andrew's going to investigate. I love this piece of music. Andrew did fantastic with this score. I love it. And he falls over something. I always insinuated he's kind of fallen over Jonathan's body, but we never actually show it at all.
No, never show it.
No. And then obviously Andrew picks up his hand and he's covered in blood, but it's actually ketchup, because at this time we didn't even really have fake blood. We just used kind of ketchup for these sort of things. And funny story about us dragging Harvey along here. It's actually Elliott and Laurence behind Harvey, and Harvey's on a skateboard as we're kind of pulling him back.
I remember him.
And I love these shots of him kind of holding on.
Yeah.
And I think we had to dub some of these lines because it was obviously you had the roller skates of the actual skateboard kind of rolling back and forward, and obviously we've been trying to be quiet as well because it's like 10 o'clock at night.
I know, it's pretty late.
Yeah, and you can actually see Elliott and Laurence in the background if you look very closely as I've darkened it out.
The
fear inside.
Oh, look how small the tree looks outside the house there.
And here she is. Here's Laurence and here's Mother. Grand entrance for the two characters, Detective Harper and Margaret Myers.
Margaret!
Look at that disgusting front door.
Well, it must be somewhere.
They must be somewhere. Oh.
He can't just have disappeared.
Located, but there is always the possibility that they don't want to be found.
It's funny how when I wrote this short story, obviously these characters didn't really have any names and they were just kind of there as set-up characters.
Yeah.
And as we've built up this universe, obviously we know so much more about these characters, like...
You can feel hate in my eyes, can't you?
And with Paul, with Mr. Myers, we've given a justification for why he's kind of so quiet and melancholy here. Like now, at the time you think, oh, he's just kind of, maybe he's kind of like shocked, but now we know because of his past he's actually plotting kind of like almost a rescue mission for his sons, because he's got this whole secret history of being a monster hunter now. And obviously at the time we had none of this context, but now in hindsight I love this shot. This took about 5 hours to do and I'd speed it up.
Yeah.
And this was my first HD camera. I can't even remember what make it was, but for some reason every time we filmed at night it used to give it a red tint, and it kind of works for a horror film, but when you're trying to film something else it's a bit of a pain. But I do like it for this.
The glow around the light.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Those wind chimes still work.
Yeah, where are they?
I'm not sure.
Outside the front door, I hear them every night.
I don't think they're still there, Jackie.
They are.
Alright.
Littering, terrible. And what I love about this scene is all the cats are following you as you're walking around the streets at night. And just a bit of future context, there may be a flashback to this scene with a little bit of let's just say an extension to the scene. That's all I'll say. Wink wink, nudge nudge. And that might be in final report, shall we say. Certain final reports. And here's Mr. Myers patrolling the streets, and he walks past one of his posters. That him and Margaret have made, looking for their two missing children.
I've told you it's Marguerite.
It's Margaret. Margaret!
Marguerite.
Now we flash back, and here is the first clue that something's linked as we actually see the object, but it's almost kind of, even though it's right at the front of the screen, it's almost a bit hidden because you're holding it and then you put it down, and we're obviously...
But this is an added scene, really, isn't it?
We're focused, because this wasn't in the original short story at all, this was added in for the short film.
This is actually a flashback, obviously.
Yeah, and this scene, even though it was just to kind of add a bit of levity to the relationship between the father and his two sons, it's actually quite crucial because... Yeah, this is what this was.
Is that Playboy magazine nailed to the wall?
No, it was my curtains.
No, it's Kylie. It's Kylie poster.
Yeah, but my curtains were Playboy curtains. Don't you remember?
Yeah, no, they were. I don't know curtains. I'm saying, was it pinned to the wall?
No, they were hung up properly.
But as I was saying about this scene, it's now looking back at it, it's added so much context because about the job. Obviously, Andrew works with Jack Harper at Gaiatech, and that company becomes quite important later down the line.
Forget to say goodbye to your mum before you go.
And obviously, this scene adds so much kind of levity to Paul in particular, because essentially once he started a family he kind of gave up on his old life and started a family life. So his children missing has kind of thrown him back into his old life. running fast.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We may finally see the entity, the beast himself. I will give a bit more context about the beast later down the line, but for the moment it's a mystery, shall we say. This creature is...
Oh, that looks like a beast.
While it's linked to the creature that possesses Andrew Myers, it's not the same thing. It's almost, to put it in simple ways, it's like his guard dog, but this creature comes from somewhere else that we'll explain later down the line. So obviously Mr. Myers has come across the same blood. I don't know how it's still there after a week, and he hears the hiss of the monster, and now it's chasing him. I love this shot as well, the shot of the moon
with the clouds going by.
And this is the particular scene I was talking about, cutting towards.
That's in front of you there.
Like 3 of them.
All the cats.
Was?
No, it was
I think one of them was Lily.
one of them was Laurence too, Black Laurence.
One of them was definitely furry and blonde.
I love this music.
And he should probably be inside by now.
Here comes the beast. And yet there's a cat on the side just watching, just like, there's nothing there. I find this shot really effective, like the way, because we had a spare door. Why did we have a spare door?
Because it was for
The garage.
the garage, yeah. But we never ever put it on.
Yeah. So I don't know, it just came to me about this. This scene was always in the short story anyway, about the door coming down. But obviously the beast's knocking at the door, trying to break in, trying to hunt down Mr. Myers. And then suddenly it finally pushes through and we have the door come down. And obviously it's not the main door, we don't have the budget for that to knock down the main door, but we had a spare door, so it came crashing down, landed on you and the camera, and then it got fades to black and we hear a scream, a hiss and a scream, and Margaret is no more. At least for the first time.
For the time being.
And now we get to the multiple realities.
Look, I've got a pair of glasses.
And now, obviously, when this film first came out, it was an interactive film. It was a choose your own ending. You could have the run ending, the oh God, what was the second ending? The peace and quiet ending, and then the happy, in quotation marks, ending. And I always wanted, when we came to the idea of connecting this to the object, I wanted to kind of make sure that we had reality shifts. Obviously, time plays a weird factor in this universe. So it just made a lot of sense. So it just made a lot of sense to have all these endings canon. So
it was my idea to have different endings to this.
Yeah, because you wrote the second ending when I first wrote the short story, the peace and quiet ending. I wrote this ending, and then when we came to film it, we created the third ending as we were making the short film to link it to the object. I will complete your collection. Now that's written in fake blood, even though it's spelt wrong.
The monster car.
You run. I like this kind of like slow panning shot as it looks like packing the bag. And that's now my camera bag, isn't it?
I don't know what happened to it. There are 2 bags like that.
Yeah, there was a black one as well. I don't know
where it's gone.
I think it might.
for a black bag and a red bag.
I think it might be in the costume cupboard. I'm not sure. So this is the kind of coward's way out almost. Now it switches to the black bag, ironically. I've just noticed that it's a different bag.
I never noticed it. But we don't know why he's running and where he's running to,
Exactly.
so it might not necessarily be coward.
Oh, it switched back to the blue bag now. I love this shot of you in the field, and we recreated it so many times, specifically for Final Report, as Jack's kind of walking off as he goes off into his new life. I kind of wanted
angle.
for Final Report to kind of parallel
next version.
And here we go on to the second reality, shall we say, where Paul wakes up, but this time something slightly different
happens. Oh. I wasn't very grey then, was I?
No, this is why we need to dye your hair for a certain flashback. More on that later.
There's quite a lot of curly there, but it's longer than it is now. A little bit.
As long as mine.
Margaret.
Still no Margaret yet.
Margaret's still dead.
But this time, something's different. And this is my little original cameo.
999, what's your emergency?
Oh yeah.
Because obviously before we didn't. This is before we connected it to the Warriors universe. So I was adamant I wasn't going to be in these films until we connected it to Warriors, and I always wanted to play Jack. That was like, as soon as I wrote those stories, I always wanted to play that character. But for these films, originally, I wasn't going to be in it at all. I was just going to focus on writing and directing.
I love this bit.
Oh, the peace and quiet ending, where we always insinuate that you've killed your family, and now you're happily.
The whole thing.
Yeah, now you're happy by being by yourself.
Yeah.
Just
The evil grin, focusing on the poster one last time. Have you seen our sons? Do, 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 do. And here we go, rippling into the final reality. Well, actually, technically, no, it's not the final reality, but it's the final reality for Mr. Myers. So again,
the door's back.
Again, he wakes up, not knowing really what's going on, experiencing all the other endings. His mind's becoming a bit confused now, but he still follows the same routine. Any interesting behind-the-scenes stories, you two?
Margaret! Margaret!
I'll take that as a no.
I'm just trying to think. And she's there!
Suddenly, Margaret appears.
Margaret's alive!
Margaret,
What are you trying to say?
So really, this scene came from just a teeny conversation of Harvey just saying to me, "What do you think about doing a sequel to The Object?" And that's where the idea came up, and that this was just as we started making this. I was writing it down into a script, and I thought, let's make a third ending as we got alternate endings. And I thought, let's put the object in it somewhere. And it, so, you know, the idea turned around in my head that Andrew is the same character as the man that we saw in The Object, and obviously, as Mr. Myers is seeing all these weird visions and realities and the monsters chasing him, I thought maybe he has the object. And that's where that idea kind of spawned from. And obviously now we're 10 films deep with a show on the way as well. It's mad, really, just to come from that one conversation. This slow pan into a piece of amethyst that drives you crazy.
Make me jump.
This is the beginning of the end. And it's
So there we're going on now.
Yes, this is now epilogue officially. But when I came back to doing this final cut, I think that we released this a couple of months after The Businessman.
Yeah.
I was like, it made sense to kind of put a nice bow on this story, and putting epilogue into it just kind of felt natural, really, placing the two together, because The Fear Inside works as kind of like a standalone story, but Epilogue kind of doesn't. It's its first direct sequel, so putting them together and making it a closed loop felt really kind of natural. And obviously this is the first time it has an original score as well, because in the original version of Epilogue I was still using a lot of licensed music. Whereas this version's completely an original score. And it uses pieces from Andrew, it uses pieces from Dan, it uses pieces from Gene as well. This is obviously just before I discovered Matthias's version of The Fear Inside as well.
Well, so it's the tree that's not there anymore.
I know.
It's quite sad, really.
I know.
You used to like that tree.
That's time for you.
It's a little car park now, isn't it?
So this is now Mr. Myers discovering why he's going a bit mad. And obviously for context we know that he knows that it does weird things to you, considering his best friend had it for so long. A man named Frost. And this is where you really see the ripples of the different realities kind of going into Mr. Myers and kind of focusing in on his brain. Because we shot this 2 years after The Fear Inside. What was it like kind of going back and kind of continuing?
I don't look that different though. Well, I used to like that colour jeans. They're really nice, those jeans. I don't know what happened to them. Must have fallen apart.
Probably did. But you've left the object. It's on the floor by itself.
And who comes along to
Who's going to pick it up next?
Yeah.
Kind of slow focus on it. Then suddenly, boom, 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 my hand comes to pick up. That's actually my hand to start off with. But then we cut to Dennis Clark, played by Michael Foot.
Dennis Clark.
And as I said in our epilogue video commentary, coming soon by the way, that I knew that the object would next go to the character of Joanna Taylor, who was our main character for Listener. But to facilitate that connection of the object going from Mr. Myers to Joanna, I had to use Dennis to get it to her. And as if you've seen the short story recreation of the Listener short story, you know exactly how that story goes.
Well, that's lucky. It's more like, we thought you'd go insane.
And I kind of use the Jaws kind of zoom in here. I'm moving closer to you as I'm pulling back, zooming out.
Yeah. I'm remembering all the realities.
Yeah, but your health's deteriorating as well.
Driving me insane.
And I think in Detective Harper reports we established that you have a brain aneurysm, don't we? Sorry, spoilers for Detective Harper reports, but all these kind of like memories are kind of really kind of crushing your brain in and making you go a bit mental.
Nothing new there.
No, nothing new. I knew you were going to say that. Oh, poor me.
That's it, you're down, you're on the floor. You're KO'd.
Snowdrops.
And
the daisies.
For this scene where you see Andrew, this isn't actually Andrew of the time. This is kind of almost a vision of the entity inside of Andrew, kind of almost teasing Paul a bit of what he plans to do, because obviously Paul has just had the object and now the entity inside of the object is kind of showing him what he's next going to do. He's next going to take over his son and use him as a host. So it's kind of a bit of a tease to Paul as he's dying,
because he hasn't actually got the
no, he hasn't got it yet, but this kind of apparition is just kind of showing the last host.
A flash from the future.
Yes and no. It's kind of I won't say who the entity is, but the entity is kind of basically teasing Paul about his host, essentially what he's going to be. And here we go, the fear inside. And that is the end of that noise. Yeah. That movie. So what did we think, guys?
I thought it was really good.
Very good.
Did you enjoy it, Jacqueline?
Very good.
Yeah. It's a long time since I've seen it properly like that. And it was a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
A lot of the filming
like
was really, really clever.
Considering we made The Fear Inside in 2009.
The first, I've always thought that the very beginning was a tiniest bit dark and a tiniest bit fuzzy, but it's because of
the bit of Elliott and Harvey. Yeah, it's because
we had at the time.
That camera was great during the daytime, but at night it's awful.
And we didn't have any artificial light, did we, at the time?
No.
So sorry.
Oh, I forgot about this. Well, because obviously I knew where this story was going, I kind of added a bit of a connection to the object to establish the timeline. So obviously we know Andrew now survives in the new reality. So I wanted to establish the object is firmly set after The Fear Inside. So we show a bit of that story of the object and where the story's going in the future. And maybe not just the object, but something else as well. So we have Andrew Myers doing his daily routine now, getting out of bed. Obviously he's lost all his family now, so he's a bit of a recluse. He doesn't really hang out with anyone. All he does is kind of go to work and come home, and he's a bit wary of the world.
And all his shirts and things, and that's all.
Don't know.
And here's the little teaser of the story to go.
Yeah.
Andrew has the object. Going through his daily routines, and he bumps into someone. The story continues in The Object and The Object Legacy.
Excellent.
So how do you think the story's going to wrap up?
Well, who knows?
Well, you should know.
Who dares to dream? Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Exactly. But can you hazard a guess?
A couple of guesses. Obviously, they're not both right. Well, I'm not telling you because you're not telling me.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for the audience.
Me? The audience?
No, we're being told, aren't we? That audience.
Why do you keep getting essence of what I mean wrong tonight?
I got it right. Celebrating 25 years, hooray!
And there we go, that is The Fear Inside, the final cut. I hope you enjoyed it as we watched along. Any final thoughts, guys? What did you think?
Well, I've always thought it was very clever, and I always thought it was really good. As I say, commentary, some of the filming in it is excellent, especially the beautiful bits with the moon going through the clouds and the sunset and all that. And some of the action scenes where I'm being chased by the monster are really clever. And I like the three endings. But I also do think it's a bit let down, as I said earlier, by the first couple of minutes.
With the camera and the lighting.
If we could ever redo that somehow, I don't know.
Can I just say, I think Nicholas wrote his best line ever. They can't just have disappeared.
I think that was a brilliant line.
Yeah, it's one of the best lines you've ever delivered.
And it's a fantastically performed line.
I think I'm
worthy of an actress.
Worthy of an Oscar.
Yes.
So that's it from
Moving on.
See you later, guys. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.